This took place in June. It was the first year it took place. It's a summit originally kind of initiated by ASTIA, but they gathered together about 20 organizations and created a coalition that kind of contributed to the creation of the conference. And the sole topic was women in high growth entrepreneurship. Wonderful day. All the who's and who's who are very involved in the field of women entrepreneurships in high growth were there. And the key findings at the end, the conclusions were, aside from we need more data, we need more research, we need better mentoring and more coaching and to diversify the networks and so on, was we need to really address the VC world. So the notion that VCs, who are currently the ones controlling the majority of the funds who help businesses grow, is out there. Everyone's aware of that. Everyone is aware that VC firms that have more women partners tend to invest, I think I heard 70% more in women-led companies, and it's kind of obvious why. I mean, there's the relation, kind of the connection that goes with, kind of what you were saying, people invest in people they feel comfortable with. There was an interesting point that was made by actually, her name's Cindy Padnos, if those of you haven't heard her. She just launched a VC firm who is focused on investing in women, called Illuminate Ventures. She said while interviewing other VC firms, when she would talk to the women partners, the women would say, you know, I already did one investment in a women-led company. I can't do another one this year.
Oh, no.
So even getting one partner into the VC firm is not enough. We do need kind of, not a majority, but at least substantial kind of force to be there. And I think I see a lot of initiatives happening. I even see some funding and grants opportunity for programs that are just going to take women out of MBA into a track into VC, so that like they don't even have to be entrepreneurs before, just go directly into VC firms. So I've seen that program. We see Illuminate Ventures and other popping. I know Golden Seeds is an angel network for women, and they are growing very fast. So the more we get women in the VC world, obviously it will help. But I think I mean, there was just an interview with Kleiner Perkins, I forgot what, Randy Commissar, who said how it feels differently to invest in women and in men. He kind of said that women's businesses tend to be more holistic. So instead of just focusing on the money and stuff, there's always a component in addition that is kind of for the greater good. So to me, since I think the world is going that ways anyways, investing in women businesses is going to be a key part in everything. If this is kind of the image we get, that a woman-led business is not just focused on money, but on the greater good as well.
And also, Kathy, I'm sure you guys are familiar with the term of investing in the jockey and not the horse. You know, and I think as what can we do as women to sort of, you know, get banks and VCs to sort of look at us, look at the jockeys, and not necessarily, you know, the business, and just focus on the numbers and the bottom line. Do you guys have any ideas?
Well, one statistic is that women make 22 attempts on average before they get their equity financing, which is, think about your own fortitude. Would you go back and get rejected 21 times before you go that final time? Malcolm Gladwell wrote a great book recently that talked about how the majority of the CEOs of the largest companies in the United States are tall men, 6 feet or over. And if you said, and he makes the point that if you said to the boards of the directors of those companies, do you realize you're hiring someone who's tall, not just the best candidate? And of course that's not what they would ever agree that they were doing. And I think that's a great analogy for this, the same concept of when, you know, when they used to have auditions for orchestras and thought that the men sounded better until they started doing blind auditions, and now orchestras are more, the best orchestras in the world are more than 50% women. And so how do we create a blind audition, perhaps, seriously, because I don't think any VC would say, I'm not investing in the best company that's going to make me the most money, I'm investing in the men who look and talk like me. I just think that it's a bias, like the doctor or the nurse.
So I want to add to that, because they came out a paper about, this is by Illuminate Ventures, and they actually proved that women's companies have a higher return than men's. And going back to what you said about scrappy women run their companies in much more efficient ways. So I think if they start looking at those stats, if we just, we have to put them out there, and it's part of the conversation, bringing out statistics, and prove that, if you do invest in a woman, she's probably I think, I have it here, I think 12% chance that she will give you higher return. No, her return is going to be 12% higher than a similar company and so on. And
well, this brings up another question. How do we get men to help us? There are a few men in this audience, but there's not that many. And I think we really do need men to help fix this imbalance. So what is the answer to that? Does anyone have?
My 2-second answer is just what you did. We have to ask. I mean, there's so many articles and stories and people who's talked about women not going for the ask. And whether that's a sales training thing or a female trade, that it takes the asking, what can we do in the relationship. But I think it begins with the question.
And asking for help. Women are not good at that. Let's be honest. We really don't feel comfortable asking other people to help us. And I know so many beautiful men who are so generous and want to see women succeed. They've got mothers and daughters and sisters. They're not against us. I think that we need to step out of our own shells and ask.
I think that in a strategic way of thinking, if we just create enough PR and buzz and create a notion that the next real solution to our economy is involving women and including them in innovation, then it will become sort of the de facto thing. Like, I think today we work a lot with VCs, and it's becoming kind of the in thing to do. You've got to go and work out with these groups of women because that's what's going to help growth. So if we create enough conversation about it, and men start realizing that, this is this is the evolution, this is what's happening right now, I want to be a part of it, then they'll come along, I think, I hope.
Well, I agree with you, but I'm also, I'm just not sure whether the PR and the buzz, whether it was created in order to get men to be sort of interested in investing in women now. And if I'm not even sure if it's the in thing to do. I think it's just, it's really just what's happening, what's involved with all of our sort of coming to stage, saying that we want to do it, launching our businesses. I think it's just really like bloody hard work and being extremely tenacious and not taking no for an answer. That's kind of got us here, and I think that's what's going to take us forward. I don't really know whether we should necessarily look to the men to help, because I think we're doing a lot to help ourselves.
And I have to say also that I think the question should have been also about women. I have to fight my best friends. I have to explain what I do for work on a daily basis, or like, well, why are you doing this? And it's fine. And maybe men do run, boardrooms better. And I get that from my best friends. And they're liberal thinking women, but this is what they were brought into. And that's why I kind of think if the conversation and people see some statistics and realize that it is a problem, maybe everyone will join along.
And I want to add one thing to the ask, an actual practical thing. It's great just to ask. Show up. I'm on this list from, her name's Cassie. Are you on it? It's great, email us, and I'm not helping right now, but we can get it after the show. The list of events in the Bay Area, San Francisco, Marin, Oakland, where there are venture capitalists gathering, show up there, ask there. Try to form that relationship in person. It's not just this vague, just ask the question. Women are great at relationships. Sometimes we shy away from the ones that can bring in